After the release of Starfield, we're all starting to get excited for the eventual release of The Elder Scrolls 6, and we still don't know much about it other than the fact that it's in development. However, Bethesda has released a few teasers and trailers over the years, and we can make some educated guesses based on what we've seen. So, how The Elder Scrolls 6 would look like. The first thing that comes to mind when thinking about what TES 6 might look like is the graphics, and I have to say I'm pretty excited about what Bethesda might be able to pull off here. I mean, just look at what modders did with Skyrim. If modders were able to make this graphics, I think Bethesda can definitely do better. And with the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, developers have more power than ever before. We can expect to see stunning landscapes, detailed character models, and realistic lighting and effects. The game developers are also working with a new engine called Creation Engine 2. They already made Starfield with it, and TES 6 is the next. This engine will allow Bethesda to create even more impressive visuals, which will make a big difference in the experience. Of course, graphics aren't everything. We also want to know what the game will be like to play. And I personally hope that TES 6 builds on the foundation of Skyrim. I really like the sense of freedom and exploration in that game, and I'd like to see that expanded upon in the next Elder Scrolls game. Also, Bethesda has said that they're focused on creating a more immersive and interactive world, so we can expect to see some new gameplay features in The Elder Scrolls 6. Finally, we come to the story. The Elder Scrolls series has always been known for its epic stories and memorable characters, and I'm hoping that TES 6 continues this tradition. I don't know what the story will be, but I'm sure it will be something special. Bethesda has a knack for creating stories that are both exciting and thought-provoking, and I'm confident that they'll deliver another great story. But there is a lot of questions about it. Where it's gonna take place. Will there be a new protagonist and a new story? One possibility for the setting of TES 6 is the continent of Akavir. Akavir is a mysterious land that has been mentioned in previous Elder Scrolls games, but has never been playable. It is said to be home to a variety of exotic races, including dragon people, snake people, and monkey people. A game set in Akavir would be a great way for Bethesda to introduce new cultures and creatures to the Elder Scrolls universe. Another possibility for the setting is the Hammerfell region of Tamriel. Hammerfell is a desert kingdom that was invaded by the Aldmeri Dominion in the previous Elder Scrolls game. It would be interesting to see how Hammerfell has changed since the invasion, and to see the player character lead a rebellion against the Dominion. As for the story and characters, it's likely that we will have a new protagonist and a new story. Bethesda has typically started fresh with each new Elder Scrolls game, and I don't see any reason why they would change that with TES 6. However, there's always the possibility that Bethesda could bring back some familiar characters from previous games. One thing I'd really like to see in the game is meaningful choices. Yes, Skyrim does have somewhat meaningful choices, but it'd be great if choices were more impactful and complicated. A world where even the slightest choices you make would have an impact on the story and the world around you. And imagine if they add something like AI to this. AI is definitely one of the areas where I think The Elder Scrolls 6 could make some big improvements. In previous Elder Scrolls games, NPCs were notoriously repetitive and one-note. But with the advances in AI technology in recent years, I think we could see NPCs in TES 6 that are much more realistic and engaging. Imagine being able to have conversations with NPCs that are actually meaningful. NPCs that can learn and adapt to your playstyle, and make their own decisions affecting the world around them. Of course, there are still some challenges that need to be overcome before we can see this level of AI in a video game. But there have been a number of demos in recent years that have shown that it is possible to create NPCs that can have natural and engaging conversations with players. So if Bethesda can pull this off, it would be a major breakthrough for the Elder Scrolls series. Overall, it's hard to say exactly what the Elder Scrolls 6 will look like, but we can be sure of one thing: it will be full of bugs and glitches. After all, it's a Bethesda game, but that's part of the charm, right? I mean, who doesn't love a good Skyrim bug compilation video on YouTube? Jokes aside, I'm confident that Bethesda will deliver an amazing game with TES 6. They've been working on it for years, and they know what fans want. I'm excited to see what new features and gameplay mechanics they introduce, and I can't wait to explore the vast universe of the Elder Scrolls once again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I don't usually do this kind of videos, but if I see that there's a lot of interest, I might make more in the future. If you have any ideas for future videos, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.